So lately, I've been getting emails from HR folks who are thinking about going out on their own. These are different people in different cities, but the emails pretty much ask the same questions. I've tried to narrow it down to five. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more questions, but these are the top five I seem to get all the time. So I figured instead of trying to answer them one at a time, I'd sit down and talk through these five here. These are honest answers based on my own experience. So it's not a formula, it's just what I've seen work. And I would tell this to any potential HR consultant. This is usually the first question, and I totally understand why. After a career in HR, you could probably do 15 to 20 different things, and you're trying to figure out where to focus. But what I've noticed over the years is that the easiest thing to sell and the thing that sustains your business are usually not the same thing. The easiest sale is something a business owner already knows they need and is a little worried about it. So, for instance, in my situation, I do mainly focus on California compliance. So for me, it's handbooks, a compliance audit, an investigation that the owner or my client couldn't run themselves. You don't have to convince anyone of this service because they're already losing sleep over it. You just have to be the person they find when they go looking. The work that actually sustains you is the ongoing relationship. So a project pays once, a client who keeps you around as their go-to HR person calls you first for everything year after year. So my advice is start with the thing they already want, do it well, and let the relationship grow from there. The handbook clients become the, hey, can you help us with this employee issue client? That's how it worked for me, anyways. This one has a twist because honestly, I don't use either one in the traditional sense. There's something I see new consultants do all the time. They put together this big, polished package, 6 months of deliverables, a fancy proposal, a price tag to match, and then wonder why small businesses go quiet on them. From the client side, that package is scary. They're a small company. They've never worked with an HR consultant before. They're not sure what they need, and you're asking them to commit to a big number up front. It feels daunting. So they do nothing. Classic monthly retainers can be a tough first ask for the same reason. Paying a set amount every month, whether they use you or not, before they even know you, a lot of small businesses hesitate, and I don't blame them for that. What ended up working for me, especially for starting a relationship, is a bank of hours. The client buys a block of hours upfront. The hours are good for 6 or 12 months, and they use them as things come up. I actually give them an HR services sheet and say this bank of time is good for all of these HR services. And I've had great luck with that. Clients can't help but say yes because there's almost no risk on their side. They have a whole year or 6 months to use the hours. They control what they spend and nothing goes to waste. And for you, it does something more important than the revenue. It builds trust. They dip into a few hours, they see how you work, and the relationship grows from there. That first small block turns into the next one and eventually into an ongoing partnership. Trust first, then the bigger commitment, not the other way around. The bigger lesson underneath all of this is be flexible with your pricing and make it fit your client. Don't feel like you have to build the way that these big consulting firms do because that's the traditional model. You're not a big firm, and that's your advantage. If a structure works for the client in front of you and works for your business, that's a great structure. It took me a while to figure this out, so hopefully I can save you some trial and error. So here's the answer. No, you don't have to be certified. There's no license or certification required to be an HR consultant. This isn't law or accounting. Nobody is going to check your credentials at the door. In 11 years, I have never been asked if I'm HR certified ever. What clients care about is whether you can solve their problem. They have an employee situation keeping them up at night or compliance question they can't answer, and they want someone who has handled it before. Your years of real HR experience are the credential. That's what they're buying. Now, our certifications like SBHR, PHR, any SHRM ones, HR, CI, are they worthless? No. They can help you stay sharp. And for some people, they're a confidence boost that gets them out the door. If you already have one, great, mention it. I guarantee, though, a lot of small companies have no idea what they are. Big companies do, small companies don't. But if you don't have one, don't let that be the reason you wait another year. The thing I'd spend your energy on instead is knowing your state's employment law cold, because that's what actually comes up in the work, and having good resources you can turn to when something lands on your desk. So if the certification question is the thing holding you back, consider yourself released. Your experience is enough to start. Everyone wants to know if there's a trick, but there isn't. There's definitely a pattern, but there's no trick to it. Almost everyone's first clients come from people who already knew their work. So, former colleagues, your professional network, businesses in your own community. Nobody hires a stranger off an ad. They hire the person someone they trusted mentioned. And let me say something that might surprise you. I have never gotten a single client from LinkedIn or social media, not one in all these 11 plus years. Every client has come from referrals, word of mouth, or networking. I'm not saying don't have a LinkedIn profile because people will look you up there. I'm saying don't sit at home posting content and waiting for clients to appear, because in this business, that's not where they come from. They come from people. And here's the strategy that's paid off for me over and over again. I set up meetings with local professionals who serve the same ideal client I do, but aren't competing with me. So these are standalone bookkeepers, tax professionals, insurance brokers. Think about it. They're already sitting across the table from the exact small business owner I want to reach. And that owner is asking them questions like, do I have to pay overtime on this? Or can I fire this person? Those aren't bookkeeping questions. Now they have someone to send those questions to. And when my clients need a bookkeeper or a broker, I send people right back to them. We refer back and forth and everybody wins, especially the client. The best part is these meetings are easy to get. You're not selling them anything. You're offering to make them look good to their own clients. A coffee and here's who I help, who do you help conversation is all it takes to start. So the practical version, tell everyone you know what you're doing now, be really specific about who you help, and go meet the other professionals your ideal client already trusts. I help small businesses stay compliant and handle employee issues when they don't have an HR department. That gets referrals. I do HR consulting, gets a polite nod, and nothing else. And one thing nobody tells you, your first clients will probably be smaller and scrappier than you pictured. Take them anyways. They teach you how to run your business, and the referrals are how things actually grow. The budget question usually comes from someone who just got quoted 5 figures for a brand package. Please don't spend that. Finding clients comes first every time. In your first year, people hire you, not your logo. That said, you do need a website, and this is why I think you do. Every single time a client reaches out to me, it's clear they've already looked at my site. That's just how people buy now. Someone mentions your name, and before they ever email you, they check you out online. The website isn't what wins the client, but it's the credibility check that keeps that referral warm. The good news is that doesn't require a big investment anymore. Use a website builder like Framer. That's what I use. And you can get a clean professional site up and running pretty quickly and cheaply. And you can do it all by yourself. It needs to say who you help, what you do, and how to reach you. And that's basically it. So put your money into a simple site you build yourself, put your energy into things that start conversations, your network, local business groups, those referral partner coffees we just talked about, and doing great work for your first few clients. The fancier branding can come later, paid for by the business itself once you actually know what your practice is. Mine looked pretty humble in year one, and not a single client ever cared. So, those are the five questions I keep getting in my honest answers. One thing I'll add, your situation has specifics that a video can't cover: your market, your background, the services that fit you. If you'd like to talk through your own plan, I do one on one mentoring sessions, an hour, your agenda, thus just the two of us talking and working through it. The link's in the description if that sounds helpful. If this was useful, subscribe, send it to people that you know. This channel is about leaving corporate and building work on your own terms. And there's more where this came from. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.